And want to say thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you here at the information session for the Outdoor Recreation Economy program at CU Boulder. I'll tell you a little bit about our time together this evening. So the first thing we're going to start with is introductions. Introductions are my favorite part of the event. They're my opportunity to get to know a little bit about each of you, who we have here on the call, and sort of get to know you a little bit in addition to having you learn about me. Then I will go ahead and talk a little bit about engaging with the curriculum, the different opportunities that you have to engage, different types of careers in the Outdoor Recreation Economy program, and then I'll do a quick admissions and deadlines housekeeping before I turn it over for questions. So there will be time for you all to ask questions today. You're welcome to unmute yourselves and ask questions verbally, or you're also welcome to ask questions in the chat. And I do want to make a note that this event is being recorded. We always have folks who want to join this event but aren't able to because of some scheduling conflict or another issue. And so we always record the event so that folks can watch it after the fact. It won't be posted publicly, but if you're more comfortable engaging with the chat, knowing that the event is being recorded, that's fine too. So introductions. I'd love to have each of you, if you're comfortable, unmute yourselves and turn on your cameras and say hello. I know that normally on Zoom meetings like this, you get to be a little bit more passive. So totally understand that this might be unexpected, but I do really love to get to know each of you a little bit first. So I've got a few questions here. Just to help you sort of frame your introduction. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? A little bit about your academic or professional background, anything you'd like to share. And then since we are the Outdoor Recreation Economy program, we love to also ask, what are your favorite outdoor activities? So I'll call on each of you sort of in alphabetical order as you're presented on Zoom so that we don't all unmute ourselves and start introducing ourselves at the same time. But I'll go first to sort of set the tone. So my name is Catherine Robinson. I am the Enrollment and Communications Manager for the Outdoor Recreation Economy program. So I am the person to ask about any questions that you have as you sort of navigate the journey from checking out the program, seeing if it might be a good fit for you and your goals, all the way through to applying and being admitted and enrolling in the program. I'm calling in from Denver today, where we finally got a break in the heat. So we had a stormy weekend with highs in the 60s, and now we're finally in a little bit more of a getting started on fall pattern. So highs in the 70s instead of the 90s, which I am very thrilled about. My academic and professional background, I studied communications and marketing before getting started in the Colorado ski industry. So I worked in the ski industry for several years doing marketing and communications work before transitioning into higher education and this program. Favorite outdoor activities. I have a terrible habit of chasing the next season. So if you ask me now, it's summertime. So my favorite outdoor activities are snowshoeing and snowboarding, and I can't wait for winter. If you ask me in January, I'll swear to you that my favorite activities are hiking and kayaking, and I can't wait for summer. So I am just perpetually wishing it was the next outdoor season, which I am working on, trying to enjoy the season that we're in a little bit more. So going alphabetically, it looks like the first person I have is Becca.
Hi, that's me.
Becca, would you like to introduce yourself? Becca, I think I lost you. Can anyone else hear Becca? Okay, let's go forward and we'll come back around to Becca. Becca, we're not getting your sound. Let's go to Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. Calling from Anchorage, which is where I live. My academic and professional backgrounds. I did my undergrad at Ohio University in their outdoor education program, which was a really great program. That's not why I went to school there, but I'm lucky I found it once I was there. And I worked seasonally for 8 years or so, and now I'm with Alaska Geographic as their education coordinator. So I work with all the public land agencies to get youth programs out on free expeditions, which I think is the coolest part of our program. They're all free. And they do sea kayaking and backpacking expeditions mostly. So in the middle of my workday, emailing all of our partners, trying to get trips set up for next summer before they all leave for the winter. And I love my job, and I'm excited about the opportunity to potentially get a master's and excel in the career path. My favorite outdoor activities, definitely mountain biking, but I'm typically subjected to skiing most of the year living in Alaska. Our ski season is significantly longer, so I'm forced into that being my favorite most of the time. But yeah.
That's fantastic. I love the idea of being subjected to skiing. That sounds like a pretty good problem to have. Every time I host one of these events, I always wonder who's going to be calling in from the furthest away. And I've gotten some crazy answers, but you're a good front runner. So we'll see if anybody has you beat calling in from Alaska. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, I have Lizzie.
Hi, nice to meet you. Catherine, I know we chatted on the phone. My name is Lizzie. I'm calling in from Arlington, Massachusetts, which is just west and a little north of Boston. And academic and professional background, I studied history undergrad and I've spent about almost 10 years now with different areas of the outdoor industry. So I've worked events, a lot of I was at Spartan Race. I've been with the Boston Athletic Association, a lot of like outdoor endurance races. I'm most recently at a leadership development company. So we help organizations like develop psychological safety and meeting management and like inclusivity and really like putting that to practice. So it's been interesting as well, but I've been itching to kind of further my education in the outdoor space and hopefully my career as well. And as far as what's the last favorite outdoor activities, I am an avid trail runner and also love hiking. Recently took my 60-month-old daughter on her first camping trip last weekend, which was a hit. So yeah, anything and everything outdoors, but it sounds like that's sort of the theme with everyone here, but it's great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Start them young on the camping, build some early resilience. I love that. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for joining. And Elizabeth.
Hi, hopefully everybody can hear me. This particular computer doesn't actually have a camera on it, so I am cameraless as of right now. But I am actually calling in from the Denver area as well. I'm actually a graduate student in environmental studies at CU right now. I'm taking one of the OREC classes or later this semester, actually. And so I'm mostly here because I'm curious how this program can maybe fit into the degree I'm already working towards. And then I guess my favorite outdoor activities, I'm actually not a incredibly outdoorsy person, weirdly enough, but I am sort of part of the community. I actually really enjoy kind of in the bird watching vein of outdoor activities, of going out and just trying to identify the things that I see. I'm actually more of like a insect person. But my partner is really involved in the climbing community here. So I do have a little bit of experience with that. And yeah.
That's amazing. Don't sell yourself short. Bird watchers are outdoors people.
Oh, I like don't even bird watch. It's like completely amateur, very like, I think that's a crow, kind of situation, but it's fun. And that's all that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Thank you for joining us. We have had some folks coming in and dropping off, so probably some Zoom difficulties, but I think we'll go ahead and move on from the intros. And if anyone's here by the Q&A that I didn't get to, I can learn more about them then. So Thank you very much to each of you for introducing yourself. Again, that's my favorite part. I love just getting to learn a little bit about each of you. And now we'll enter the more passive part of the Zoom call. So you're welcome to turn off your camera and grab a snack, and I'll tell you a little bit about the Outdoor Recreation Economy Program. So what is the outdoor recreation economy, right? What do we mean when we say that? And another word for it is the outdoor industry. You'll hear it referred to as the outdoor industry, but this is an incredibly powerful economic sector that brings a ton of annual jobs and consumer spending. I recently learned that the outdoor industry is a larger and more powerful segment of the economy than agriculture, than the pharmaceutical industry, and then the automobile industry, which is insane when you think about it, the number of cars that we sell each year. But there's more economic output from outdoor recreation than each of those industries. And so the outdoor recreation economy is growing rapidly. This is an area that has been very impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Lots of people who had not done outdoor recreation ever or in quite some time were driven to get outdoors and really reconnect with nature during the pandemic when there weren't a lot of other options. And so we saw gear sales and services and all kinds of stuff really have an explosion of demand during the pandemic. And that is starting to even out, but is certainly evening out to a level that's higher than where it started. And so with the COVID-19 pandemic and the impacts of that, the outdoor recreation economy has so many jobs and so much opportunity and so many new things happening and new organizations in this space that are looking to make an impact. And in response to that new demand and all of this new excitement in the sector, University of Colorado created the first program of its kind in the nation. So this is the first and only graduate program that is fully online that takes a holistic look at the outdoor recreation economy. And there are 3 different options for engaging with the outdoor recreation economy program. So we have some folks who come to this program who say, I'm already working in the outdoor industry and I just need to brush up on some new skills, or maybe I want to pivot my role. I'm currently working in one area and I'd like to pivot into another. I'm just going to take some individual courses, take a course or 2 here and there. Maybe I'm working on another degree, like Elizabeth mentioned, working on another degree, but I want to also supplement that with some skills in the outdoor industry. Up from that step, there are 10 credit graduate certificates. So you can earn a graduate certificate for 10 credits. It's 5 courses. You can take that out with you and have that credential on your resume, and it is yours to keep. Or you can stack 3 of those graduate certificates into a master's degree. So that is a 30 credit master's degree in outdoor recreation economy. No matter which way you choose to engage with the program, you will find fully online and flexible coursework that is designed to meet you where you are and be able to fit into your lifestyle and help you to advance your career or break into the outdoor recreation economy within the schedule and within your needs. So coursework is organized into 10 credit graduate certificates. As of right now, there are 5 of those. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each one just to give you a sense of the types of coursework that we cover. So the Introduction to the Outdoor Recreation Economy certificate is sort of a mile wide and an inch deep. You learn a little bit about a whole lot of different stuff. You learn about all of the different stakeholders of the outdoor industry and how they interact, some of the major trends and challenges in sustainability, in different issues that are facing the outdoor industry. And you really sort of get the lay of the land. If you haven't studied outdoor recreation before, this is a great way to sort of get set and have a level playing field with the rest of your classmates. If you have studied outdoor recreation before, this is a great opportunity to find areas that you haven't maybe encountered before and dive deeper. The second certificate is Public Lands and Natural Resources Policy. So this is a certificate that really dives into all of the different laws and organizations that govern the way we recreate on public lands. Our faculty lead for the certificate likes to say that unless you are so lucky as to own some large tract of private land upon which you recreate, all of your outdoor recreation most likely occurs on public lands. And so that can be everything from the local park in your neighborhood that you walk to have a picnic, or it can be the state parks or the national parks, Forest Service land, Bureau of Land Management land, all the different organizations that are involved in governing public lands. So this certificate explores all of those organizations and the way that they set policy for our public lands, and then how to impact that. So as an individual, as an organization, as a corporation, as a nonprofit, as an advocacy group, how can you have an impact on the way that we govern our public lands and the way we ensure equitable access to those public lands for all? The third certificate is Community Economic Development. That's a term that not everyone has heard before, but what that really refers to is how can you use outdoor recreation as a tool to build just and resilient local communities and economies. So this is everything from small rural areas or areas of the country that are looking to divest from fossil fuels or other extractive industries and are really looking to pivot their economy and the jobs that they offer in their community and the resources that their residents have access to into more of a sustainable and environmentally friendly focus. Outdoor recreation is a great tool for that. And so you can leverage the natural resources and amenities in your area to really bring in resources that not only benefit the community economically with jobs and wages and opportunities, but also really contribute to the overall health and resilience of that community. The fourth certificate is Leading a Sustainable Business. So this covers exactly those three components: leadership, sustainability, and then a really broad and holistic overview of the business of outdoor recreation, all of the different brands and the major players and how they interact. And then finally, our newest certificate, which is actually just about to launch, is Inclusivity in the Outdoor Recreation Economy. And this certificate is dedicated to the diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and access to the outdoor industry. This is a major, major trend that we are seeing across the outdoor industry right now. Historically, the outdoor recreation industry has not been representative of the population in terms of ethnicity, in terms of body diversity, neurodiversity, age. There are a certain type of folks who have traditionally participated more frequently in outdoor recreation, and the industry is seeking ways to really expand that access and bring equity and bring historically marginalized communities into outdoor recreation and give them opportunities to thrive, not just with access to outdoor recreation and sort of breaking down those barriers, but also with access to careers in the outdoor industry, which again have traditionally followed a certain type of demographics, and the industry is ready to expand that. So those are the 5 graduate certificates that we offer. Like I mentioned before, you could take one of those graduate certificates by itself, or you could stack 3 of those graduate certificates into a customized master's degree. Each certificate in the program has the same structure. So there are 4 asynchronous subject courses. Asynchronous is a higher education buzzword. And what that word means is that you don't have a dedicated class time. For example, Monday and Wednesday from 5 to 7, where you have to be available, you have to stop what you're doing and sign into class. Instead, you can log in and complete the coursework on your schedule within the term. So there's weekly modules that you complete throughout the semester to complete your coursework, and those include readings and assignments and guest lectures from experts from across the industry. But you don't have a dedicated time that you have to sign in. You can do that on your schedule. So if you work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you can do your coursework on nights and weekends. If you spend your weekends kayaking through Alaska, should we all be so lucky, you can do your coursework during the week. So you're able to really work it around your schedule within the weekly modules. At the conclusion of each certificate, once you've completed all 4 asynchronous subject courses, you will take one synchronous project course. And that project course is your opportunity to take all the knowledge and skills that you've learned throughout the certificate and apply them to solve real-world challenges and complete real-world projects in the outdoor industry. And so that course will have synchronous components where you're meeting with the faculty members, meeting with potential group members if you choose to work in a group project for your project course, and things like that. If you choose to stack 3 of the graduate certificates, you can earn a master's in outdoor recreation economy. That is composed of 3 10-credit graduate certificates of your choice. The first one will be the base certificate, which is the Introduction to Outdoor Recreation Economy. And then you'll choose 2 more to complete or to create a customized master's degree. That master's degree can be completed as quickly as 2 years, maybe 1.5 to 2 years, if you're very dedicated to taking each of the courses as soon as they're available and sort of doing a intensive graduate coursework load, or you can space it out over up to 4 years, which gives you the flexibility to even take a semester or 2 off here and there. If you have, conflicts that come up, you have the ability to space that out over 4 years and really add some flexibility to your time in the program. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about careers in the outdoors. Folks think of certain types of careers in the outdoors, but it is actually much broader than you might imagine. And so I like to talk a little bit about that. So we have 3 types of students who are most frequently joining the program. There are folks in the program who are early career students. So maybe they've done some seasonal work or they've done some entry-level work, but they haven't really fully launched their career in the outdoor industry yet. And so they're using this program as an opportunity to do so. We have lots of students in the program who are pivoting. So they've created careers and had successful careers in unrelated or only tangentially related areas. We have folks in the program who have been lawyers, who have been accountants, who have been, have all different kinds of careers, who have decided that they would like to align what they do with their values and they would like to pivot into the outdoor industry. This program is a great opportunity to do that. And then we also have students who are advancing. So we have many students in the program who have many years of experience in the outdoor industry already. Maybe they are looking for a promotion and have been informed by their employer that some extra education can really help them achieve that. Or maybe they're looking to pivot into a different type of role. I had mentioned that earlier. For example, I've been working in marketing and communications in the outdoor industry for many years, and I really want to get into the public policy side, and I want to pivot the type of impact that I'm having on the industry. We have lots of folks in the program who are pursuing that as well. And across each of the different types of students who join us, they have something in common, which is that their goal is to have meaningful and impactful leadership positions in the outdoor industry. And so lots of folks in the outdoor industry, you'll hear stories that they started as a ski bum, sort of worked their way up from a lifty up through and into management roles. That's absolutely a great way to break into the outdoor industry if you have the time and the resources to do that, and if that's what you'd like to do. This degree is another way to really hone your skills and be able to take on those leadership roles in the industry, perhaps without spending many years of sort of entry level and seasonal roles in order to get there. And the types of careers that are available in the outdoor industry are extremely varied. There are so many different opportunities out there. And so we like to group these and organize these by the different certificates so that you can sort of see, if I were to pursue a master's degree and combine these certificates, sort of where would that intersection be where I would have career opportunities. And so students interested in working in public lands and natural resources policy, many of those folks want to go directly into into public policy and resource management. So they want to work with a park service. Maybe it's state or local parks, the Forest Service, the National Park Service. They want to work directly with one of these organizations that's managing our natural resources directly in a land management capacity, deciding on the policies that govern those lands. But there are also a lot of other opportunities to work in public lands and natural resources policy without working for those government organizations. And so there are lots of government relations and policy roles. So think of things like lobbying, government affairs. These roles exist in many, many major corporations in the outdoor industry, as well as smaller companies as well. And these are roles where you really get to advocate on behalf of the outdoor industry and help to influence public policy that's favorable to equitable access to public lands, environmental protection of public lands. And so there's lots of opportunities to do that. And then there are also lots of nonprofits and advocacy organizations. So organizations, think of things like Protect Our Winters or Leave No Trace or the Nature Conservancy, really these nonprofit organizations that are advocating on behalf of public lands, again, in the public arena, in public policy, and then also with public education. So lots of opportunities to work in the policy space. For community economic development, these roles are oftentimes not well known to folks who are pursuing careers in the outdoor industry. And we have found that our students, once they really dive into this coursework and understand how impactful these careers can be, this is a very rewarding space to work in. And there's lots of different types of roles. At the state, city, and regional level, there are lots of outdoor recreation offices. I think we're up to close to 20 states now in the country who have a dedicated outdoor recreation office that is literally their sole purpose is to bring outdoor recreation community development to their state. City planning, chambers of commerce, destination marketing organizations, so many organizations out there that are working to bring outdoor recreation amenities to those communities. And then there are also, again, community relations roles. So the lead instructor for the community economic development certificate tells a story about a role that someone, one of her students took at a local ski resort. So she was working for the ski resort and had community relations capacity, and she got to go into the community and say, okay, you know, we bring lots of jobs and lots of tourism dollars and lots of community spending to this area, to this region, but how else can we partner? How can we use our resources to increase community capacity, to help with affordable housing, to help with healthcare in a community where oftentimes the injuries on the ski slopes are overrunning the hospitals and stopping the local residents from getting care? How can we help the community to be able to actually access and leverage this amenity, this ski resort that's in their city, in their town, but they don't all have the ability to access that? And so really the opportunity to work on the brand side, to work with a major organization to help improve community resilience is there as well. In leading a sustainable business, there are so many roles that it's impossible to cover them all. This is typically the area that people picture roles in when they picture roles in the outdoor industry. And this can be with major organizations, you know, manufacturing like Burton Snowboards or Patagonia outerwear, and then also with distribution organizations like REI, outdoor recreation service and delivery organizations like ski resorts or race organizations, things like that. And there are leadership roles available in sustainability, product development, operations, marketing, many, many, many more. There are tons of varied roles in outdoor businesses that folks can pursue with this type of education. And then also entrepreneurship. We have many students in the program who are interested in starting their own business, or maybe they started their own business, but it just lives in their garage right now, and they're trying to figure out how to scale it, and they've got more orders than they can process. And how do I really get this thing off the ground and make this my full-time job, or I want to join an outdoor recreation startup or an outdoor technology startup, and what skills do I need in order to do that? And then finally, inclusivity in the outdoor recreation economy. This is a major area that is exploding with lots of new roles being posted every day. So there are lots of roles related to diversity, equity, and inclusion within major outdoor businesses. Some of those titles might sound like the Director of Social Impact, Director of Inclusivity, Talent Strategy and DEI, Racial Equity and Justice. So there's lots of different areas of inclusivity within these outdoor industry organizations that different roles are tackling. And then also there's lots of opportunities for diversity, equity, and inclusion consulting. And so some of the major roles, right, the Patagonias and the REIs of the industry are hiring in-house, but there's lots of smaller organizations who really want to have an impact on DEI. They want to bring DEI into their organization or increase access to the industry. They don't have the resources to bring someone in-house, and so they go to consultants. And so this is another way to have a great impact on the outdoor industry and also do very well in your career. So that wraps up the exploration of careers in the outdoor industry. I'm going to give a couple really quick housekeeping notes about just admissions and deadlines for this program, just so that I can head off those questions. And then it looks like I had a note in the chat that another person had to drop off. So we can take questions and discuss any of the elements of the program after that. So we have an admissions process that is designed to increase access to careers in the outdoor industry and not gatekeep them. So the goal of the admissions committee is to find reasons that you will be a strong contributor to the program and to the outdoor industry. The requirements of the application are quite streamlined and simple, so we do not require GRE or GMAT scores of any kind. Time and time again, our industry partners have come to us and said, we need more folks who are educated in this space, who are passionate, who are excited, who are ready to come in and hit the ground running and make a difference in the industry. We don't need folks with the highest GRE score. So we responded to that and made that not required. So the components of the application that are required are transcripts from your undergraduate degree or any previous coursework that you've completed, a current resume detailing your experience in education, and then a statement of purpose that demonstrates your clarity of vision for why you want to join this program, what you can contribute to this program, and why you're a good fit for the program, and why the program is a good fit for you. So the admissions committee really wants to see that you have goals of working in the outdoor industry and that you know how this program is going to help you reach those goals. References are optional, and proof of English language proficiency is required for any international students. Some quick information about deadlines. So we are a 3-term start program. You can begin the program in fall, spring, or summer. So you can join the program at any point throughout the year, the start of any semester. Our next admission cycle will be for spring 2023, and November 1st is the priority deadline or the final deadline for international students. November 15th is the final deadline for domestic students, so folks who are based in the US. And then you can see corresponding deadlines for the summer and fall of 2023 as well. For the graduate certificates, the deadline is quite a bit later. For graduate certificates, the admissions requirements are a little bit more relaxed, and so we're able to admit folks later in the process. And so to begin coursework in the spring 2023 in a graduate certificate, if you're not yet pursuing the master's degree, you don't have to apply until mid-January. And the program is stackable, so you're welcome and encouraged to get started with a graduate certificate. Maybe there's one area that appeals to you the most, and then you can later apply those credits to the master's degree if you decide to continue. Okay, that was all the information I wanted to share. So now I can open it up for questions. Folks are welcome to ask questions verbally, to unmute yourself and ask your question aloud, or you can ask questions in the chat if you prefer. I've got my contact information here on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share so we can all see one another, and I will share this information in the chat before we go. So what questions do you have for me?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, I switched my headphones. I'm curious about the first semester and what courses people typically take their first semester. If they usually do a full semester or just one or two classes, like how does that work?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So the majority of our students do work full-time. We have some students who work part-time, but the majority of our students work full-time. Almost all of our students work in some capacity. So we find that the cadence for most students is either 1 or 2 classes per session, and each semester has 2 sessions. So the courses are broken down into 8-week sessions. There's 2 sessions per semester. So on average, a student will take 1 or 2 classes at a time, which will equal out to 2 to 4 classes per semester. Tends to be the most common cadence that we see. We do have students who go all out and take 6 classes, take 8 classes in a semester. They take all the classes that they can. We also have some students who take maybe 1 class and then take another class the next semester and take a session off. So it does vary, but that's typically the cadence, is 1 or 2 classes at a time.
Awesome, thanks. And can you take sessions off, so you could just do like 1 class a semester?
Exactly. Yeah, you sure can. So we have lots of folks in the program who, for example, work in an industry like the ski industry, where they're really busy during the winter months, but then they have more bandwidth during the spring, summer, and fall. And in the opposite of that, we have folks who are guiding all summer, but they can take coursework in the fall, winter, and spring. So the program is set up very flexibly so that you can take courses where you can and take time off where you need to as well.
Awesome. And then one other question on that front, the 2-year, like that's the fastest you could get it completed. Is that including summer semesters, or is that just fall and spring?
Yeah, that includes summer semesters. So oftentimes in the summer semester, the courses that are available are like the project courses. So you're able to sort of have a little bit more dedicated time to complete your project. But based on that 2-year cadence, yeah, that would include the summer as well.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, great question. Elizabeth, any questions?
Yeah, I apologize if this is a pretty specific question, but I am wondering how this interacts with any like funding through CU already. I'm not sure, has anybody even looked at doing that? Like if they're in ENVS already, and want to do kind of this additional certificate potentially, because I know it's slightly different from a regular like graduate certificate that is offered through the university. To any information you have about that would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I should be able to answer this question, although I'm going to ask some clarifying questions to make sure I understand what you mean.
Yeah, for sure.
When you say funding, do you mean like the tuition costs, or do you mean federal financial aid, or do you mean a scholarship? Tell me a little bit more about what you refer to there.
Yeah, so I'm talking mostly about like a TA-ship or a GRA position, and the tuition funding that comes from that.
Okay, so to the extent that you have elective credits available in your curriculum of your program. So let's say, for example, and unfortunately, I don't know the exact details of the ENVS curriculum, so I'm fudging this.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Let's say, for example, you're allotted 15 credits of electives in your program, and you have to complete 15 credits of electives in order to complete your degree. You could totally use those credits within the ORE program or any other program that you choose, right? If you have a GRA position that is specific to a degree that you don't have elective credits for, you would have to enroll in this program separately. So to the extent that you can use elective credits, you're absolutely welcome to use those credits in the ORE program and they'll apply to your degree. If you don't have elective credits, you likely won't be able to use your departmental funding to take additional courses. Typically, they just want you to take the courses that are required for the degree on your departmental funding.
Okay, I think that makes sense. I know it gets very complicated with all the assistantships normally. So for instance, if, you know, I have a certain amount of elective credits, I decide to take 10 of them for, you know, one of the OREC certificates. Then as soon as I get those 10 credits, so long as I go through all the paperwork, I would have that certificate.
That's correct. Yes, that
Okay.
certificate would be awarded to you on your transcript. It would be yours to keep and yours forever.
Great. And then that would just go through the regular application process of the certificate, not of the master's.
That's a really good question. So if you're already enrolled at the university, for the most part, you don't apply again, except in very specific circumstances. So in your
Okay.
situation, if you were taking the credits within the electives, you would not need to apply and be admitted to the Outdoor Recreation Economy program because you would be earning those credits within the home of the ENVS department and the degree that you're already in. So you would just enroll in the classes. When you completed the certificate, it would be awarded to you. If you were going to graduate, for example, if you were going to graduate with your degree and then you wanted to pursue additional coursework in the Outdoor Recreation Economy program, under that circumstance, you would need to apply. But for your circumstances, it should be as simple as just enrolling in the classes that you'd like to take. And then once you've completed all 10 credits in one graduate certificate, that certificate can be awarded to you.
Great. Okay, that's a lot more simple than I thought it was.
Yeah, they make it pretty streamlined.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much, that was my main question. So
Absolutely. Caitlin, any other questions occur to you?
Yeah, I do have another question. Maybe I just missed this on the website, but is this thesis based or is it a project based program or?
Yeah, great question. This is a professionally oriented master's degree program. So this is a program designed to create practitioners who will go out into the field and apply the knowledge and skills that they've learned to make an impact in the industry. There's no thesis, there's no required like research project, right, dissertation or anything like that. There may be you're going to conduct research throughout your courses and things like that, but it'll be on a smaller scale. The culminating element of the program where a research-based master's degree would have a thesis, this program's culminating element is the project courses. So that's sort of the experiential learning opportunity. It's comparable to what you would see in like a capstone project or a major program ending internship type thing. So that's the culminating project of application. No thesis, project courses.
Awesome. And what do people typically do for their projects, or what are some projects?
Yeah, it's super varied. It's super varied. So we have had students who came in who were employed in the outdoor industry who wanted to conduct a project with their employer and said, I am working on this team, or I just got invited to the sustainability committee, or there's something that I can do with this project to apply all the knowledge and skills to my work. We've also had students who have had a dream job, right? I know that I want to work in this field for this employer after graduation. I'm going to create and establish a relationship there with the help of the faculty members in the program to create a project, a customized project that I can do for them to help start making those connections. We've also had students who've had something in one of their courses that they were like, wow, this is so fascinating. I had no idea this existed. This is something I want to pursue. I'm going to do my project course around that. So there's tons of different ways that comes together. There's students who choose to work individually because they're working with their employer. There's oftentimes students will work together in groups. So it is very variable. The faculty members that teach the project courses essentially work with you to give you the best impact on your career goals through your project, whatever that looks like for you.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think those are all my questions.
Great. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I had one more come up. So as far as the classes being offered, are most classes offered every semester, or is there like a set schedule for when different classes are offered?
Yeah, that's a great question. So within each certificate, courses are offered throughout the year. So on average, it will take about 1 year to complete one graduate certificate because the courses are offered throughout the fall, spring, and summer in sort of a rotating cadence. If you're completing the master's degree, you're able to layer more than one certificate at a time. So you're taking courses in multiple certificates concurrently, which is how you get to that maybe 1.5 to 2 year cadence to complete the full master's degree. But for each graduate certificate, courses are laid out throughout the year. So it takes about a year to finish each one.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Cool. Well, it was really great to meet both of you. Hopefully some other folks are able to view the recording since I think we might have had some technical difficulties. I hope it wasn't on my end, but we had lots of folks kind of drop in and drop off there. But great to meet both of you. If any other questions occur to you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat right now so you have it, but it's pretty easy because it's just my first initial last name at colorado.edu. So if any questions come up, don't hesitate to reach out. I can either answer those questions or get you connected with somebody who can. And thanks for joining. It's a pleasure to chat with both of you.
Yeah, thanks so
thank
much. I
you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Good
bye.
night. Bye.